it's Spiffy Guy, and I'm back here with another sort of gear loadout summary video like I did with my clothes. So if you have any questions on this, be sure to let me know. I'll try to be a little bit more brief than I was in the last one. But essentially, this is all the gear that is not clothes. So hopefully that makes sense. Obviously, gear is different for each person. So these are just the things I'm using. Hopefully this will give you some idea. It's not set in stone that this is what you have to use. So, you know, just do your own thing. You know, go out and do your own thing. It doesn't really matter. But I think I pretty much got everything covered for the most part. As I mentioned previously, usually my pack is at least under 20 pounds for sure. Sometimes it's around 17. Just depends on the time of year and what I'm bringing with. Sometimes I'm doing some maintenance, so I might be carrying some loppers, that sort of thing. So let me get started. The main thing obviously here is the pack. This is the ULA Circuit. This is an awesome pack for me. It has worked for everything I need. Recently, I have taken out the aluminum stay. Okay, there's an aluminum stay that goes basically down like this. There's a little Velcro up here at the top. You can pull it right out. This is like maybe 1.5 ounces, I think. And it wasn't really a weight thing for me to take this out. I took this out because I wanted to try to see how the load felt with more of a, quote, frameless pack. I'd like to try to move some of my gear and bulk down a little bit to possibly get in one of those. So this still has the hoop on the inside in there. And the reason I left the hoop on the inside was it really didn't weigh that much, and I didn't want to have to fight the pack as just a floppy mess. That little hoop in there does give it a little bit of nice stability when you're trying to load it. It has some shape. On the inside of that, I'm using a Z-Packs liner. This is sort of a Velcro at the top, roll-up dry bag. This keeps everything inside my pack. It's essentially an expensive trash compactor bag. You could use one of those if you wanted to, but I wanted something that fit, and Z-Pack makes one that fits exactly to the circuit. Works great. I love it. Okay, so as a pack cover, this is a Outdoors, whatever the Walmart brand is, and I did some modifications. I have a video on this. You can go look for it. Essentially, it's just got a cinch cord. This is my pack cover. I know a lot of folks don't like to use a pack cover and a pack liner. I like to use both because I have things on the outside of my pack. That's the nice thing about the Circuit, is they've got the bungees on the back. I keep a lot of things in that little mesh pouch. I can take my fleece, wrap it around the bungee so it's on the outside. That just keeps everything nice and contained. All right, so moving on, let's talk a little bit about sleeping. This is the Thermarest X-Therm. The sleeping on a Dorito bag. This is awesome. Super high R value. Super expensive. You know, it's like 200 bucks, I think, but I haven't had an issue with mine. I've never gotten cold underneath because of it. So high R value. I carry that year round. It's an awesome inflatable sleeping mat. It's large size because I wanted the 25-inch width and not the length. So this is the tarp tent, double rainbow. I like this tent. This works really well. I have the Groundhog, MSR Groundhog as the stakes. I haven't found any issues. I found the Easton nail pins that they send you. I've had them bend on me. So far, the MSR Groundhogs are really good. They're the full-size ones and not the minis, but you could probably get away with the minis. I may at some point retire this tent and move to a freestanding tent. It's been something I've been thinking about. So that pretty much takes care of all that. You know, next I always carry a piece of foam, you know, and I usually carry the blue foam. And recently I've been carrying this Dutch Gear one. It's quite a bit lighter and it folds up a lot smaller, as you can see. It's not as thick and it's probably not as robust as this one, but it was $5, and it supports Dutch, who makes all those cool little hammock doohickamabobs. One other thing for sleeping. This is a Enlightened Equipment quilt. This is my 20-degree quilt. I ordered this with an extra ounce of down, so for the most part, it's a 20-degree quilt. I really like moving to the quilt. Some people may not like it, but with the nice warm X-Therm pad on my back, the quilt works great. If it gets a lot cooler, I bring this little fleece paws blanket. This is super easy to make, and it will bring that level, you know, down. I would not be concerned about going down to probably 10 degrees with these two things together. That said, this one is a little small for me. I'm going to be making another one, so stay tuned for that video. It'll be super simple. I just want to figure out what material I'm going to make out of it. Occasionally, I will carry this is that chest pack that I have built. I've talked about this quite a bit. This is a little Condor gadget pouch. This is for my camera. I can carry maps in here. My little GorillaPod tripod that I use for setting up shots and that sort of thing. So this is something else that I've just started to carry, and gear will change, right? On the tool side, I carry Condor Bush Lore. This is the replacement for my Mora knife, mainly because this one is full tang. I love the Mora. You can't go wrong with it, but if you're going to baton on it, you might want to have a full tang. I will occasionally carry a saw. This is the Bahco Laplander. I don't always carry this, but in the winter I'll carry it a little bit more in case I want to build a fire, or I need something else to do because the days are short, and once you get to camp and it's dark and it's only 3:30, you got to do something. So let's move on. My cook kit is pretty straightforward. I do a lot of freezer bag cooking, so I don't cook in the pot. So I need a small pot. That's it. This is a Toaks 450 milliliter. I did a little custom-made cozy for it. This is the Sea to Summit Alpha Light spoon. This is the long version. This weighs the same amount as a plastic Wendy spoon. So those ultralight guys who have the Wendy spoon that they chop down, it's not worth it. Just bring a giant long spoon. You can get in that freezer bag. It works great. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love Esbit, so I carry a couple Esbit tabs with that stove and a lighter. I carry a windscreen, a little ground shield, and then just a little light load towel to kind of protect the pot from any other goo and junk and all that. So I will also bring gloves, especially if I'm bringing a saw or I'm planning on making a fire. Work gloves are great. They're going to keep your hand. They're not going to keep your hands warm, but they're going to keep your hands free of you know, cuts and scrapes and that sort of thing. And they're not really that heavy. I put in some custom grommets on here, just with some bank line, and you can do your thing. Very small medical kit and repair. I've got my Thermarest repair kit in there. I've got, you know, needles, that sort of thing, a little dental floss, and then just bandages, aspirin, that sort of thing. Things that I'm going to plan on needing as I plan on doing things more with the knife, or if I'm going to be doing more bushcrafting, I'll bring a supplement first aid kit. This is just designed for just ultralight hiking. It's not, you know, it's nothing any comprehensive thing. You know, a couple 2x2 gauze would be the most of, you know, the blood stopping and stuff like that. Plan as you need. This is my poop kit. Some Body Glide, trying to work on the chafing issues. I like to use wet wipes. I buy the Bio Wipes. They're compostable. All right, moving on to water. In the winter, I'm going to try these Aqua Mirrors. I mentioned this in the last adventure video. In the summer, I'm going to use the Sawyer Mini, and regardless, I will bring the Sawyer Mini bag as an extra reservoir to carry 2 liters of water. Typically, I will carry a 700 milliliter Smart Water bottle on the shoulder strap, and then I'll have 2 1-liter bottles. That way, if I lose one, or you know, one needs to sit for a while, I still have the other one. Bring a compass. This is the Suunto M3. If you can afford it, get the M3 Global, but the M3 works fine. And I will carry a ferro rod. This is a big Chinese 6-incher with some Gorilla Tape on it, and you know, I'm not 100% happy with this Chinese one. I may try to buy one from firesteel.com and compare the difference. We'll do a video on it. Go figure. In the winter, I'll carry 2 bread bags. The reason being is I wrap my boots, stick them in the bottom of my bag so they don't freeze. This is a Z-Packs food bag. You can buy this on their site. I think they call it the Blast. I don't know. It's great. It comes with a little line throwing kit. So, and it'll do well. If you pack it smart, you could probably get 5 or 6 days in there. I don't know if you'd get much more than that. And not that it's small, it's just I bring bulky food. If you're smart, perhaps you'll do better. Electronic-wise, I carry a GPS. This is the Garmin Dakota 20. There's better ones out in the market now. Sunscreen, I will carry, I do like this lantern. This is the Lucci Lux. Did a video on this too. It really sits nice in the tent and kind of lights it up. This is a luxury item, I ain't gonna lie. Total luxury item. But I use this in the tent, and that way I don't have to sit around with my headlamp on, which is a Petzl Plus. So I will carry batteries, spare batteries for the camera. I got 3 of those. I'll carry a set of batteries for the GPS and a set of batteries for the headlamp. And then to charge the camera right there, or my my phone, I'll carry this Anker. This is a big one. I bought this for the river-to-river trip. This will last 10 days. I never run this down. I can charge anything. It's awesome. It's ridiculously heavy at like 11 ounces. It's heavy. And then as another luxury item, I will carry a Kindle, especially in the winter because there's nothing to do because it's dark, and it's dark. So, all right, that pretty much covers everything I take. There's not really a whole lot, and most of the stuff that fills the bulk of the pack is clothes. So, I'll carry a toothbrush. I forgot to mention I'll carry a toothbrush, a little Z-Pax toothbrush, and a little travel toothpaste. So, you know, a little hygiene never hurts, right? So that's pretty much about it. Not a whole lot of gear. The point is if you can figure out what has multi-uses or what you do and don't need, then, you know, you can eliminate it. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a chair. I've been kind of looking at possible chairs, but it's a luxury item. I don't need a chair. I can sit on my sit pad or I can kneel on it. Technically, I don't need that, you know, but you can eliminate these things and then lower the weight on the stuff that you do need, and then you can start adding back in things that are luxury items that you might want to bring to just make the experience a little bit enjoyable. But regardless, it's all up to you. Hike your own hike, you know, have your own adventure. This is what I carry. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. You got any questions? Drop them here. Stick them on the Facebook page. And just remember that life's an adventure. So go out and have one.